You're watching Mirror 7 News. Stay informed, stay ahead for more news.
Hey, so here's the latest about Air Canada that's been making headlines. Over the past few days, the airline has been in the spotlight because of a flight attendants strike that really shook up travel across the country. It all started last Saturday when Air Canada's flight attendants, who are represented by a public sector union, walked off the job. The strike immediately left tens of thousands of passengers stranded, dealing with canceled flights and a customer service system that was struggling to keep up. On Sunday, the federal government stepped in, trying to order the employees back to work through binding arbitration. But that attempt failed. It wasn't just another labor dispute. It highlighted some bigger structural problems in Canada's airline industry. Air Canada, along with WestJet, dominates most of the major airports here, controlling up to 75% of the traffic. That's because foreign competition is strictly limited, leaving Canadians with few options and high ticket prices for service that's often indifferent at best. The strike ended on Tuesday after a tentative deal was reached between Air Canada and the flight attendants union. But the disruption left many passengers frustrated. Complaints soared as travelers tried to navigate cancellations, rebookings, and missed connections. To address some of the fallout, Air Canada announced it would cover certain transportation expenses for passengers who had to make alternative arrangements because their flights were canceled and the airline couldn't rebook them within 48 hours. Customers can now submit a refund request through a form on Air Canada's website if they had to partially or entirely change their travel plans due to the strike. Advocates for passenger rights have pointed out that the airline was legally required under Canada's Airline Passenger Protection Regulations to either rebook affected passengers on its own flights or on partner or competitor airlines within 48 hours. But in many cases, that didn't happen, which is why this reimbursement policy is being seen as the airline acknowledging its obligation to cover these costs. This situation also exposes a broader issue. Canada's airline market is highly protected and concentrated, which gives unions significant leverage during disputes and leaves the government repeatedly stepping in to resolve conflicts. High airport fees, sometimes accounting for as much as 35% of a ticket, and weak passenger protections only make things worse. The Air Canada strike was a reminder that the system is heavily tilted toward entrenched players and public sector unions, and that travelers often bear the brunt when conflicts arise. In short, the strike may be over for now, but it's left a lasting impression about how fragile and costly air travel can be in Canada. The airline is moving to smooth things over, but for passengers, the experience was frustrating, expensive, and eye-opening about the state of the industry. Stay subscribed for more videos.